Historical shorts are popping off on YouTube, Instagram and TikTok. Just take a look at these two channels. They're killing it. Stellar Sega came first, being created in February of this year, and it's already up to over 350k subs with revenue between 26k and 426k. The AI Historian came later in March, but it's doing damn well too. This channel has over 250k subs with revenue between £680 and 10.9k per month. Want a piece of the pie? Who am I kidding? Of course you do. And let me tell you, these videos are pretty easy to make. Let me break it down. There are 4 tools we need. ChatGPT to generate our scripts, an AI image generator for the images, an AI voice generator for the voiceover, and finally, video editing software to put it all together. Right then, step 1, making the script with ChatGPT. Ask it for an interesting historical fact. If you don't like what it gives you, try re-rolling or asking for a list of facts. You can then pick one of these and ask ChatGPT to expand on it. However, I already know what I want my video to be about. I'm going with Vikings, as they're pretty awesome. So here, I'll ask for some interesting Viking facts. Of the facts it's given me, the Berserkers sound the most interesting. Next, I'll ask ChatGPT to generate me a 120-word summary about them. This keeps the video safely under 60 seconds, which is the limit for YouTube Shorts. As an optional step, once you've generated your script, I recommend pasting it into a new Google Doc to edit and organize as needed. I'm going to add a short title, and you can add a call to action at the end if you want to. Here, you can also prepare the scripts for many videos in advance. Step 2, AI voiceover. Head on over to 11 Labs. They have the best AI voices around and will ensure your videos are high quality. Take note, you need at least their starter package as this comes with a commercial license. The first month is just $1. It's well worth it, trust me. When you've made an account, click Voice Library and find a voice you vibe with. Make sure it works for the type of video you're making. A deep old voice is a good choice. I like Russell.
Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games.
Now head over to the Voice Lab and select the one you chose.
Grab your script, paste it into the box, and then press generate. Easy peasy. Hit the download icon on the bottom right. Step 3, AI image generation. You have no hope of finding copyright-free images for these types of videos, so we need to use AI to make them. There are many different AI image generators that you can use. Midjourney is undoubtedly the best, but it costs $10 a month. Instead, you can use Leonardo AI, which is free to use, even commercially, which is what we need. The caveat is that you only get 150 credits every 10 hours, and these run out pretty darn quickly.
Oh no!
To make matters worse, I recommend you turn Alchemy on. This is a premium feature that gives you way better image generations. The issue is that you only get to use a limited amount of these too, and your Alchemy generations run out way before your credits do. A cheeky workaround is to sign up with multiple email accounts. However, this is a bit of a pain and far from ideal if you're planning on pumping out regular videos. I really do recommend getting Midjourney instead. $10 is nothing really. In any case, once you're in, choose an image model. I recommend going with a hyper-realistic one such as PhotoReal. Before you start producing any images, scroll down and change the aspect ratio to 9:16, as this is what we will need for our YouTube short. Now head back over to ChatGPT and ask it to produce image prompts for your story. Copy and paste these into Leonardo AI and then select the amount of images you want Leonardo to produce. Some of the images will be duds, but you'll get many great ones to use. You might also want to use the unzoom image function. This gives you more image to work with for your transitions when editing. When you're done, download all of your favorite pics and then organize these into a folder. Step 4, editing. You may already have a video editing program you use, but if you don't, I recommend Capcut. It's free and pretty user-friendly. In fact, I've only been using it for a few weeks as I switched from Sony Vegas Pro, and the transition was seamless. For those using Capcut, open a new project and import your voiceover and images. Then drag your voiceover onto the timeline. The first step is to take out all of the pauses. Rather than hitting the cut button, get used to using keyboard shortcuts as this will make the editing process much quicker. We are going to use a combination of the split and select tool. You can check what your shortcuts are bound to by clicking here, and then if you want to change them, press shortcuts at the top. Anywho, as you see, by pressing X, a blade appears which conveniently allows me to trim the pauses in my audio. Let me go ahead and touch up the whole clip. Once that's done, we are ready to start on the images. Drag your images onto the timeline, and then change the aspect ratio to 9:16. Then comes the most difficult part, resizing the images to the appropriate length and in spots that match up well with the audio. I recommend keeping your clips between 2 to 5 seconds. If they last any longer, you may lose the viewer's attention. When you're happy with the flow, it's time to move on to animations and transitions to give your video some character. Here's where you can really experiment to see what works and what doesn't. After a little play around, I came up with something I was happy with. Let's take a quick look at my first 4 clips. I begin with a zoom animation, then I use a left transition at the end of the clip. For my second clip, I use shake 1, and then I pair this with a combo sway out transition for my third clip. Finally, for my fourth clip, I use a stretch and distort combo animation paired with a shake transition. Here's how it looks.
The most terrifying warriors throughout history, the Berserkers, legendary Viking warriors, were a formidable and enigmatic group in Norse history.
Once that's finished, it's time to add some visual effects for some spice. Click on the Effects tab and have an explore to see what you like. I recommend the nature section in particular. Lightning, mist, fire, fog. Capcut has a range of cool effects here, and these gel very well with history-style shots. For my first effect, I'm looking for a bit of movement, as while I like the zoom animation I used, my clip feels a little static. Also, I'd like something to make the Berserker seem more badass. After just a few seconds of searching, I came across the chromatic effect. It adds that little bit of subtle movement that I'm looking for and really does make my Berserker seem more formidable. Just take a look at the difference.
The most terrifying warriors throughout history,
I won't bore you with adding all the other effects, so let's skip ahead. Next up, we have to add captions to our video. This is where Capcut really comes in handy. Click the text tab and then select auto captions. Wait for a second and voila! Capcut has produced the text for us. What a time saver. A quick word of warning, Capcut has now made this a paid feature on PC. If you don't want to pay, edit your entire video, export it, and then add subtitles with another program. Back to editing the text. I'm going to tinker around to make it more aesthetic. I'm going to keep my text frame fairly low so it doesn't obscure my pictures much. As for the font, I'm going to pick one which is bold, and then I'm going to add a shadow and stroke to help it stand out. Also, I decided to add a subtle animation called bounce out. You can try messing around with some of the others if you want to. The final required step is to add music. You have multiple options here. You can use a dedicated music provider such as TuneTank, search YouTube for non-copyrighted music, or just browse the YouTube audio library. The audio library gets a bad rap because back in the day everyone used to overuse the vlog music on here. But there's actually a bunch of decent tracks you can use. Try messing with the filters to narrow down your search or use the search bar itself. A quick search for Vikings led me to the Crusade track by Kevin MacLeod, which should fit my video nicely. I hit download, bring it into Capcut, and then match it up with the video on my timeline. As an optional last step, you can also add sound effects to help your video stand out from the competition. Now, not every clip needs a sound effect, just pick those that seem the most fitting. By the time I finished adding my sound effects, I ended up with 8 in all. And that marks the end of the process. Let's take a look at the finished product.
The most terrifying warriors throughout history, the Berserkers, legendary Viking warriors, were a formidable and enigmatic group in Norse history. These fierce fighters, active during the Viking Age, were known for their unparalleled ferocity in battle. Clad in animal hides and bearing namesake berserk qualities, they entered a battle trance, tapping into a terrifying inner rage that made them seem invincible. Their frenzied state endowed them with unmatched strength and fearlessness, making them both feared and revered by their contemporaries. Berserkers played a pivotal role in Viking raids and conquests, striking terror into the hearts of their foes. However, their exact practices and rituals remain shrouded in mystery as they left behind no written records of their own. Today, the legacy of the Berserkers lives on in Viking sagas, capturing the imagination as symbols of unparalleled courage and tenacity on the battlefield.
Pretty good, right? Now you can get out there and make short history reels of your own. After you've made a few of these, I reckon you can really tighten down how long they take to make. I spent a lot of time tinkering with transitions and animations, but with experience you'll know which ones work and which don't. Best of luck with your projects, and hit the subscribe button if you want more from me. I make videos showing you how to leverage AI to make money, so if that sounds up your alley, it's well worth subscribing. Catch you in the next vid, my dudes.